Welcome back to Freda Channel Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're supporting this channel in one way or the other, kindly note that I take it with a measure of humility. Allow me to request you, if you're visiting the channel for the first time, to take a moment and hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that whenever we do a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. To all our returning subscribers, thank you very much. Please give our videos more likes so that YouTube can recommend them for more viewers. Do you think Rigathi Gachagua is under instruction to reply to everything that Raila Odinga says? Or do you think he's doing it out of his own volition? Because anytime the former Prime Minister speaks, then the first person to jump in to correct him or to answer or to criticize him is our Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua. And I remember at one point Raila Odinga lamented, and he was saying that Rigathi Gachagua is not his match. And I think Raila was referring to a fact that politically speaking, he's got more experience than Rigathi Gachagua. There has been this conversation that it's not just ending any soon about the GMO. And Raila Odinga made it very categorical that Kenyans must reject the GMO food because Raila felt that there isn't enough consultation and stakeholders have not been incorporated to discuss this issue.
This decision, which has been made without deliberation or public participation, will have far-reaching and catastrophic implications for the Kenya's agriculture, for the health of the Kenyan people, and our environment. The regime will subject Kenyans to unproven and dangerous foods in an attempt to please international interests and do not care about our safety. We ask Kenyans to oppose this move and to totally reject any GMO foods should they ever enter the Kenyan market.
And during that conversation, he mentioned something that the GMO that we are being compelled to consume is from the West. And Raila made some statements to the effect that William Ruto is working like he is a puppet of the West. And that conversation was very long. So when Rigathi Gachagua took an opportunity to answer Raila Odinga, he ignored all the important and pertinent issues that Raila Odinga raised. Because the main issue that made Raila to call that press conference was about the GMO and the inclusivity. In fact, Raila even referred to some of the farmers from Rift Valley, where William Ruto himself comes from. Because Rift Valley is our bread basket. Most of the maize come from that area. And you've had farmers crying foul, and they are against the importation of the GMO. So Raila took issue with this issue of just importing GMO without consultation. But our Deputy President, in his usual characteristics, instead of delving into serious matters that Kenyans want to know, he went on a charm offensive.
They have no moral authority to advise on what we need to do to get out of the crisis we are in. When they were given an opportunity to advise government turned against its very people by touching their goods and killing business. The West is supporting us and we are happy. And that engagement with the West will continue. And those who have a problem with it, there's nothing we can do. They can just sit and watch and we'll just ignore whatever they are saying.
And there's something that he said there that I just don't understand. It sounds very ridiculous to me that they will continue doing business the way they're doing it. And the person who's disappointed with how they run the government should just sit back and watch them do whatever they want to do. In fact, he is still playing politics with serious matters. He has been on record telling Raila Odinga to make sure that they play opposition, criticize the government, and to ensure that the government is on the right track. But anytime Raila Odinga reminds them that they are going wayward, that they are off the hook, he will be offended. And so I'm wondering, our deputy president is blowing hot and cold at the same time. At one point, he wants to be criticized by the opposition and to check them. And when the opposition does that, he will be breathing with fire. What must happen, ladies and gentlemen? And I want to ask you, on the issue of GMO, regardless of your party affiliation, who is speaking the truth? Because if you understand, this conversation has attracted the church, the clergy. It has attracted farmers and politicians. And they're saying that even if we want to import GMO, there are several things that must happen. And we have repeated this over and over again. There must be public participation. This is entrenched in our sovereign constitution. You cannot bring GMO and force it down our throat. Let experts explain. We even have illiterate Kenyans who do not understand what GMOs are. So the concerns are, let us have public participation. Because we want to govern ourselves. We only elected leaders to represent us, but they cannot do that which is contrary to what we think. Number two, let us have a policy framework where are we going to import maize before evaluating how much stock we have in our market? Because it will be very preposterous to import maize, yet our farmers have got influx of the stocks in their stores. We can only import maize, whether GMO or organic, we can only import when we have a deficit, ladies and gentlemen. But I have heard cries all over Kenya that Kenyans are saying that we have enough and soon we are going to harvest. And so there is no need of importing maize. We must look at the health issues that are involved in the GMOs that we're talking about. And we must also guard against being a dumping site for products of other people. In fact, what I feel should be done, let us focus more on exporting our products than we import. Because if Kenya has to be productive, then we must focus on exportation. And I'm just wondering, the government is telling us that they want to encourage the policy of buy Kenyan material. In fact, they even said that they're going to make it difficult. They're going to make mitumba business more expensive so that we can produce locally. We produce our own clothes here, our textile. But why is it that on the same spirit, when it comes to maize, I have a feeling, ladies and gentlemen, that it is high time we separate politics from pertinent issues that are ailing our country. Because the next thing, you will hear Raila Odinga talking about insecurity, and our deputy president will tell him off. The fact that Kenyans gave Mr. Ruto and Gachagwa'S the mandate to be first and the second in command does not mean that they bully issues. They should listen to Kenyans. I want to call upon the voices, the human rights. You are too quiet. I want to hear the human rights activists talking about this. The Law Society of Kenya should air their voice. I'm still missing them. The church is largely very silent, except for the bishops or the Catholic bishops who came out to air their voices, because the church has always been an alternative voice. But I still need to hear more voices of the clergy. It is the responsibility of Raila, and this is something that he has done over and over again. He cannot keep quiet when people are suffering. Raila Odinga's political journey has always been coiled around fighting for the weak, speaking when the idea is unpopular, ladies and gentlemen. Our deputy president, wherever you are, we love you. Bring all the stakeholders. Because now if you tell Raila Odinga, you tell him off, will you tell the churches, you will tell off the churches? And what if other stakeholders come in, will you tell them off? Please, this is Kenya, and it belongs to all of us, ladies and gentlemen.